Hi there, I'm Meg McGregor, the Director of Virtual Mentorship at the Modern Classrooms Project. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create your own learning management system from a Google site. So let's dive in. The first thing I would love to chat with you all about is best practices for LMSs. So it's pretty straightforward no matter what you're using, if you have Canvas or Blackboard or Seesaw or Microsoft Teams. Really, we just want to make sure things are very intuitive, follow a logical progression. If you choose one naming convention, you stick to it, things are organized, and of course, to be patient. And, it takes time for us to learn new systems as well as our students. So that's really it. Really simple is best when it comes to your LMS, and less is more. So I am going to show you how to make a very basic LMS. So the first thing you'll want to do, and this is using a Google site, which is free with a Gmail account. Or if you have a paid work Google account, you can also access a Google site. So I'm going to go to New and to More and go to Google Sites. And my internet is slow. Cool. Here we are. So I'm going to name my site. My internet is still slow. There we go. I'm going to name my site Physics Site. And I'm going to title it just very simply Physics. Or maybe I'll do Physics. Nah, I'll do Miss McGregor's Physics class. And maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller. Maybe we'll make it 48. I'll make it a little bit wider. I want it to just be one line of text. Beautiful. Okay. So, just so we're all aware, if we don't like the way this looks, we can keep our theme real simple, but change the color. I want it to be purple, but I can also have many different themes. So the world is your oyster as you pick themes, but I'm just going to keep it simple and use their classic site template. And maybe I'll change the font. No, I won't. Okay. So now we have a few options. So if I want to make pages for my site, so maybe what I want to do, and let me move myself out of the way. Here I am. I want to add a page for each of my class periods because, sometimes one class might get ahead of another. Who knows? So I'm going to have a period 1 page. I'm going to have a period 3. And we'll do period 5. Okay. Nice. So I'm going to go back to home, and I like this. So you can navigate to the various pages from the top as the user, and we'll see it as a preview in a moment. Okay. So now to take a look at things you can add to your Google site. A lot of different things. You can embed a calendar, a map, even a Word doc. How about, can I put in a file? I'm going to pause for a moment because I'm going to put my syllabus in, but I think I need to change my syllabus from a Word doc to a Google Doc, so hang tight. Okay, so as I think about what I want to be on the home page, I'm thinking information that I want all of my students to see. And I also want to showcase for you the power of Google Sites. So I am going to put my syllabus on my home page. So I'm going to go to my docs and grab my physics syllabus. Beautiful. So I am going to make this nice and big and readable. And now my students can scroll through my syllabus. Pretty cool. I might also choose to record maybe a welcome video for all my students explaining the LMS and how to navigate the LMS, and maybe I'll put that on YouTube and I'll drop it in, or I can put it in Edpuzzle, and I'm going to show you how to embed Edpuzzle videos in a moment. So there's really a lot of power here. You could put in any Google product essentially into the Google site. Let's say you just want to add some text. Maybe I just want to add like a welcome message. I can add a text box. Welcome to our class homepage. Please click on your class period in the top menu. And now I'm going to go to my pages. And for each class period, I'm going to follow that principle of just keep it real simple. So I'd probably update this unit by unit, but I'll have unit 1, constant velocity motion, and I'm just going to create a section for each lesson. And I'm going to keep my naming consistent, practice what I preach. So I like to do the unit dot lesson number naming convention. It speaks to my soul. And I believe I have 8 or 9 lessons in this unit. For the sake of brevity, I'm just going to go through 5, and I'm going to name these. So this is the constant velocity buggy lab. This one is the constant velocity model. This one I think is representing motion. This one we'll say is motion graphs, and this one is mathematical models. Okay, so those are my lessons, nice and simple. Maybe to make this like very readable, I will make this a heading. I will make these subheadings. And then, again, keeping it as simple as possible for my students. In each lesson, there are key few materials that all of my lessons have. So material number 1 is instructional video. And then there's going to be guided notes and practice for me are all in one packet. Guided notes and practice. And then we have, and this is optional, maybe you give your mastery checks via Google form. I personally do them in paper. So what I would say is must take in person. Just as a reminder to my students. And then I might have a section that's like additional resources, just in case I have any additional resources to share on this topic. Like I might direct my students to the physics classroom, which is an awesome website for physics learning. So I'm going to do this for every single lesson. I'm just going to copy this very consistent and simple structure. And then maybe I'll add a review, and that should be a subheading. Okay. I kind of want to indent this in. I'm not sure if I can. I can. So I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to indent it in 1. I think that looks better. Then if I have a unit 2 that goes next, it'll just look really nice and be very readable. So, okay, I have the general structure. What's next? So at this point, it's up to you. Option 1 is embed your Edpuzzle videos right here. And the way to do that is to click Embed, select Embed Code, go to your Edpuzzle, grab the video that you'd like to embed, and now I'm testing my memory. Do I know how to share it? embed a preview, blah, blah, blah. That's what I want. I want to embed a preview. So I'm going to click the large size. I want it to be nice and big. I'm going to copy the embed code. I'm going to go back to my site and drop it right in the box. And hooray, there's my video. Let me move myself out of the way. I'm going to click Insert. And nice. So in order to get it in the text box, and this is kind of annoying, huh? In order to actually get it in the text box, I would have to break it up. So you'll see my video is actually before the text. I wasn't able to just drop it in. So that's something to consider. So what I might do is I might copy this and put text before the video and then have the video there and then keep going. I think that's honestly a little bit too busy. So instead of embedding my Edpuzzles, I might choose to simply link them. So I might just select the text, link, go back to the Edpuzzle, grab the share link, and drop it in. So that's probably what I would do here, because I just think I really like how simple it is. So then what I would do is the same thing for all of the other parts of my lesson. I would link to the file, be it a Google Doc, Google Slides, a YouTube video, anything. I'd provide the link. So this is the structure I would suggest for your very basic LMS. Super simple, but it does the trick, right? It has the same core functions as Google Classroom or Canvas, but you're making it from scratch. Pretty cool. One thing that you might say is missing is an ability for students to have a discussion. So I have a quick fix for you. So let's add one more page. If you want to make some kind of discussion board, I'm going to add forum. And the best way to do this would be to actually embed a website, but embed a Padlet. So I'm going to pause the video to make a quick Padlet and show you what I mean. Okay, so I made a quick Padlet, and if you're not familiar with Padlet, I recommend you check it out. It's a way to create an interactive post-it board for your students, and this is not the only template you can use, so it's really powerful. But in this case, I'm going to embed a Padlet into my Google site to make a quasi forum for my students on my Google site. So I've made a Padlet, and I'm going to go to Share, and I'm going to grab the embed code, and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go back to my site, and I'm going to click Embed. I'm going to paste in the embed code. I'm going to cross my fingers and do a little dance. Yes, there we go. So what's so cool about this is since I've embedded my Padlet, I now have this forum on my site where students can post. So that's a fun way to make your site not only a place to house materials, but to also be interactive for your students. So I hope that this quick walkthrough was helpful and gave you some ideas if you're hoping to make a Google site LMS, and good luck.